Thank you very much for watching this. This is a mindset education and human engineering program. We're trying to program ourselves into this whole thing called mindset, and this is human engineer. If you've been following closely, we started this programming on the lens, like we're going to talk about the lens, on the lens of putting some information down that can help us know something more about mindsets and how they affect our lives for the best or for the worst. And today, never mind about our friend the Muslim. They are trying to do their prayers, but today I wanted us to look at the role that mindset plays in our lives, and in that very way on how it shapes our perspective. And I told you that we're going to be handling one by one. Now we are at how mindsets shape our perspectives towards life. And perspective, I came with this, if you can read here, that's it's a matter of perspective. And that aside, we want to know what is perspective, first of all, before we delve into what perspectives each one of us may have around life. But perspective is the way we view, the way we interpret, and the way we understand the world around us. It is really the lens through which we see the world around us, the situations around us, the people around us, and even ourselves. And that really helps us to it also influences, in that way it influences the way we think, the way we react, and the way we look at ourselves. Now, why are we saying that our mindsets, and even this word mindset, we wanted to make sure it is now clear by this time that our mindset is the way we think. It's our values, it's what we believe, it's what we think, it's how we behave, our behavior. How do they shape our perspective? How do they shape the way we think, the way we feel, and the way we behave after having that lens through which we look at things and the situations around and people around us and even ourselves? See, when we have a positive mindset, a positive belief, a positive set of values that we believe in, it helps us to look at situations and people in an optimistic kind of way. It helps us to look at solutions. It helps us to look at the good in people. It helps us to look at the good in everything, if I may say. And if we have a negative way of looking at things, and there we go, everything we look at turns into doom. Everything we look at turns into a problem. Everything we look at, we have to critique it. And how this shapes the way we look at things, like we show this illustration of ours here. I just happen to have it around, but at times we look at the situation and we say this is a 6, and at times we look at the situation and we say this is a 9. And you see, this is one situation we're looking at, but because of how we believe and what we think and what we value, we tend to look at something from our perspective, from our way, from the lens we have in the mind, from how our minds have been set, when they are positive or if they were negative, or if they were fixed, or if they were gross, or if they were an abundance mindset like you've heard about, if there is a scarcity mindset that we may know, if there is a victim mindset that we have. When we look at one situation, and we look at it in different ways, it tells clearly on which side of the way we think we are at. Now, I needed to look at this from family's perspective, our workplace's perspective, our relationships perspective, and I will go into that maybe with time. And then we go to even our way we talk. Right? You find somebody talking and all they can say is, this is not good, this is lacking, something is missing here, this is not going to be bad. You know, I have this story of two travelers who decided to move and take a walk somewhere, and when they were going, they passed by a garden, and somebody was like, the one who had a negative mindset was like, look at all this weed in the garden, and the other person who had a positive attitude was like, look at all these flowers, the optimistic kind of looking at things. So when we reached in front there, and the optimist was telling the other colleague of his that, do you know that we are passing through things, and the way you talk, it's like we are looking at one thing in different ways. And he informed him that for me, I'm looking at them from a positive kind of arrangement. And the other pessimist was like, how come I've not known that I've been looking at things from the wrong angle, from the wrong point of view? And in that way, I've missed a lot. It all goes like, we know, when we say the glass is half full or half empty, this is one thing we use on perspectives. But friends, I need you to understand or be aware, even more aware that I think you've been aware that the way we think, the way we behave, the way we believe and what we believe affects how our lives are shaped. It affects how we look at things. And most times it may be wrong if you don't have a positive attitude. And I want to stop here right now, now that it's getting a little bit tricky. But the next time we're going to look at any other processes that have influenced our perspective vis-a-vis the way we think, the way we look at things, the way we behave, the way we believe, and the way we value life, situations, and everything that surrounds us. And I want to thank you very much for this time. It's been a pleasure talking to you. We keep in touch. See you next time. Bye for now.